All right.
We're gonna do it again.
We doing it again? Are we doing it again?
It wasn't on the spirit.
It wasn't on this one.
Now we're good. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Ooh. Oh.
That peaked a little bit there, but
All right.
play the intro. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bitcade. This is Primal Target's official video game podcast. We talk about video game topics for you to listen there at home. Joining me, I don't even think I introduced myself, but in this case, I'm not going to just yet.
You're not that important anymore.
Nope, it's these guys. These are the reason why here. You catch me more enough over there on twitch.tv/primal_target. That's where you can find me. There you go. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, over here on my right, we're going to start with David.
Yep. David.
How you doing?
I'm all right.
Good, yeah.
Just another day.
Yeah, just another day.
Yeah.
All right, it's nothing special. Over here on the left, it's Quinn. I was waiting for you to say it.
Well, we said it in unison.
Exactly.
So it's all the better.
There we go. I had this in.
Next time you guys should plan some sort of harmony or something.
Oh, okay. Just try to get
Yeah.
it right there in the right octave.
Yeah.
My name is Ryan A. Moore, and like I said, this is Bitcade. We talk about video game things, just topics, just things that we want to talk about with you guys. If you have suggestions, feel free. Comment section below is open to you. Each and every month, we talk about different types of topics, and then at the end of the month, we post the full entire video. Throughout the month is every topic. So, first week gets the first topic and all that jazz. This is the month of May, and so we're going to start off with you, David. What are we going to talk about first?
I thought we could start out talking about what games that I would use the term an unexpected surprise. A game that I started playing with no expectations. Didn't really know too much about it. I just popped it in, started playing it, and really enjoyed it.
Okay.
So I figured I'd start off with I think the biggest one, the one that I've spent the most time with, for me is the Elder Scrolls series.
That was a sleeper one on you. You talk about it so much that you would expect that this would be something you liked a lot. I
will say I guess I was late into the Elder Scrolls series. My very first one was Oblivion on the 360. I know they started on PC. I didn't have a gaming PC, so the very first one was Oblivion, and I remember buying it. I put it in. I got past the tutorial, little like prison, underground bit, and you get out into the world. And then I went to the first town, and then I got bored, and I stopped playing it for like 6 months. Then, shortly after that, was when the PlayStation Network outage happened, and the PSN.
Nice.
This was back then. I think I was playing.
So you were playing this on the Xbox, or you playing this?
Oh,
on
I'm
the
sorry.
PS3?
I meant on the PS3. I was playing this on the
right,
PS3.
right.
My apologies. I was playing this on the PS3.
Okay.
And
because I was like, as an Xbox fan,
yeah,
I'm like, I don't really care about PlayStation Network.
I was incorrect there. I was on the PS3.
Oh, I will call you out on it.
Yeah, no.
Don't you bring that
Go
to this
for
podcast.
it. Yeah. And at the time, I think I was playing DC Universe Online.
Mm-hmm.
I think. I can't remember what I was playing at the time, but it was an online game, and I couldn't play it because the PSN was down. And so that was the only really game that I had at the time that didn't really require the internet.
Yeah, that's still an RPG.
It was Oblivion. So I was like, I'll give this another go, and I got hooked that second time. I played a different type of character. I played just because they have the base characters that you can do, and I picked an acrobat, and I really enjoyed that character, and I really enjoyed that game. It's still my favorite in the series, even though I've only played the two.
Mm-hmm.
The other one being Skyrim. It blew me away in that second one. Because I remember getting into it because my friends were always talking about it. Like, oh, you should play it. It's so good. It's so good. You put so much time into it. And I just, my first playthrough, I just couldn't get into it. And like I said, I literally stopped playing for like 6 months. And then the outage, and I literally played that the whole time the PSN was down.
Yeah, it fell in that nice little,
Yeah.
just in the right moment. Because
Yeah.
I remember, because like at the time when Oblivion came out, that was
Oh, Oblivion.
everyone talked about it because it was the first Elder Scrolls that did third person, right? Isn't that the first?
It did have a third person view, but it was
Yeah.
the first big open world like RPG. It was like kind of the first game of its time, I would say, that goes on console, because it came out very early in the 360 PlayStation 3 console cycle. Like when the Xbox 360 and PSN or the PS3 launched, it was within, I think, the launch window. I believe. I don't know the exact date when it came out.
I think you're you're
So
pretty
when
close.
I had picked it up, it had already been out for years. I remember watching my friends because those didn't come out till after I had graduated high school. And I remember going when I was in town. I was visiting my friend, and he was showing me his room in Oblivion, where he just had all of his stuff just everywhere, all over the floor. And he was like,
unequipped.
Yeah.
Unequipped.
yeah. No, like hundreds and hundreds of items just on the floor, weapons, armors, anything. Everything's on the floor. And he goes, watch this. And he throws a spell, and it's just, and the physics and everything's flying all over the place. There's like 2 frames a second. and then it freezes his console, and he's like, that's pretty cool, huh? And I'm like, sure. But yeah, like he was always trying to get me to play it, and he would always be like, here, you take the controller and make a character. And like I would get past that one opening like tutorial scene, and that would be about when I would always stop with him. And so then when I got to the point where I really was like, okay, well, what do I do now? I lost interest. But I'm glad I went back, because I really wish that I could have had like an acrobatic style character in Skyrim, because acrobatic, you can run faster than a horse. I could jump like 10 feet into the air, and I could jump like 30 feet forward, because you could get your stats. The stats were so much more like customizable and unique in Oblivion, whereas it kind of got more clumped down. I won't say dumbed down, but
more for like the console player to come in and
yeah,
go,
but
I'll give this a shot.
I don't want to
kind of thing.
say like they dumbed it down for a broader audience to play it, but it kind of it feels like that with Skyrim. But just being able to just like, oh, this dude's chasing me. All right, well, I'm gone. Like I remember this one fight in particular where I'm shooting, because I was like an archer and dagger, but primarily archer. And there was this canyon, or not canyon, but like there's like a road, and it like drops down to like this kind of like what's it called?
Ravine.
I guess like
Crevice?
a ravine, yeah, like a crevice, but there's
Ditch.
yeah, it's like like here's like it goes down, and like here's the road, and I'm just shooting at him. I'm just going hop, shoot, and just hopping back and forth and shooting at him.
It's like that scene from the Power Rangers. You've seen the Power Ranger movie?
The new one?
Yeah.
No,
No,
not
that's
at all.
not a new one.
Is it good?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was good.
Did you watch the original Power Rangers?
I watched it on Twitch. when I was
Oh,
on
yeah,
Twitch.
you did tell me that.
I was
Okay.
catching up on it on
Alright.
Twitch, and I knew who the characters were. Zordon.
Goldar?
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to Skyrim.
But,
That's a made-up name. That's not a character.
No, that is.
All right, moving back.
wait, no, Zordon?
No,
No.
Goldar.
Goldar.
Yeah, no, that's the big gold ape dude.
Yeah.
Oh yes, it is.
That's
No.
freaking
I know that guy. I know the guy now. Now I know him.
With
I
the
remember.
wings. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, for
You said you watch Power Rangers.
I watched it on Twitch. Thank you.
um,
Every time he always got on screen, they posted the little troll guy because he sounded like. Never mind. So,
but
but you're glad you went back and you took the time.
Oh,
You're like, you know what,
absolutely.
this is a great time for it. I got nothing else to play.
absolutely, because I've sunk probably more hours into Skyrim than any other single player
Yeah,
game
you
ever.
rebought it for Xbox.
I've bought it 3 times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, I own it on 3 different consoles. I don't own it. The only copy I don't own is a PC copy of it.
I have the PC copy.
So yeah.
But anyway,
But that I think is the big one that's had probably the biggest influence on my in my gaming history.
but you don't
of-
like Fallout.
I don't like. I can't get into Fallout. I've tried.
Same game. It's the same.
No, I understand that. Well, like I tried playing. Like I bought the big deluxe bundle of Fallout 4 when it was on sale
Yeah.
with like all the DLC, and I put like
Maybe that'll be your
15
next one. Maybe that'll be your next
I
one to come
doubt
back
it.
to it. Yeah.
Once
yeah, a lot
I
of people
doubt
say
it,
that. A lot of
because
people say that.
once I put like 15 hours into it, and then once I found out that I can't actually do every faction's like little thing, like you have to pick one and you're basically with them, that completely turned me off to the game. If I can't do everything in like in a Bethesda open world game,
Then what's the point?
and it just felt very linear. I felt like I was being pushed on. Whereas Skyrim, and it's like, oh look, you go to here and you can go here and do this and be the Dragonborn, and you'd be like, no, I'm gonna go over here.
I'm doing this right now.
Yeah, and I
That's
don't
probably
know.
why you like The Witcher too, is because of the Skyrim thing. Because you can do
Yeah,
anything you want.
well, yeah. I mean, it's basically the same formula, just a
Yeah.
different coat of paint.
Quinn, do you have a game that you were like, you slept on? You're like, nah. And then you were like, okay. Took a shot
Yeah,
for it.
I'll go with the one unaffiliated game that was just random that I just popped in and played.
Okay.
I was at SakuraCon with my friends, and we were just hanging out. We went to the video game room, and it was the retro console room, so it wasn't the normal one where it has like the Xbox Ones, the PS4s, whatever, those newer generation stuff.
Yeah.
Those
Xbox 360s and PlayStation 3s.
Yeah, the newer generations
Yeah.
are almost what 4 years old now.
And now Scorpio's
3,
coming out
yeah.
and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I went there, and of course the most, like, everyone always plays the Super Nintendo or the 64 or the Genesis and stuff like that. And then I was with my friends, and we were like, okay, well, how about we play the TurboGrafx 16? If you guys haven't heard of the TurboGrafx 16, it's just a 16-bit console that was overshadowed by the Super Nintendo.
As one of the 16-bit consoles that did.
And it's really weird because the cartridges are like little cards that you just stick in there, and then you pop it. It's really weird. It's kind of like the Vita has the little cards.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of like that.
Okay.
And so we chose we just played a whole bunch of random games, and they weren't actually all that bad. The graphics were fine too. And we played this one that we got hooked on. Like, we were trying to get the high scores back to back to back. And because, well, they only had one TurboGrafx 16, but because nobody heard of the TurboGrafx 16 or they had very little information on it, normally you would get a certain amount of time, and then when your time was over, someone had requested that station, they would take your spot. But because nobody cared about the TurboGrafx 16, we would just
You're just
sit
in
there.
line
We would
over
just
and over
sit
again.
there, and then people would see the games we were playing, and they'd go, well, now we gotta play. So that's the only time where we would get booted off, is when other people would see us and they'd be like,
Well, I want to play.
I want to play that. And then as soon as they got off, we'd get off. And we did that mostly on the last day of the con because there wasn't much to do on Sunday because it was only like open for 12 hours.
Do you happen to remember what game that was?
Yeah, it was called Devil's Crush. It was published by Atlas. I don't know if it was developed by
Wow,
them.
an Atlas game.
Yes.
Okay.
And there's a joke that me and my friends have before we get onto the game about how good of an experience it was, is that Atlas will publish any game so long as it has to do with demons or anything like that. Because Demon Souls was published by Atlas. And then
Really?
Koei or
Yeah.
Tecmo, or who has Pac-Man? What is that?
Namco.
Or Namco.
Namco
Because then
Bandai,
Namco
yeah.
took over out and did Dark Souls.
When Dark Souls, when
Yeah.
they went off of. Yeah,
But
the
I think it's
exclusive
funny
for
because
PlayStation.
not Capcom, but Atlas was like, "Yo, you guys got demons in your game? We'll
Come
publish
on
that."
over.
And so that's what I think about this game because it's called Devil's Crush. So they're like, "Yo, we love demons over here at Atlas. If it has a demon, we don't care what it is about. We'll publish it."
It's like a Rick and Morty skit. Oh yeah, you got the thing. We want it.
And so we play it, and it's a pinball game. I don't know if you were expecting
I
that.
was not
No.
expecting
A demon pinball game. But
On a
there's-
16-bit
Yeah, on a
console
16-bit
nobody
console.
ever heard
It's
of.
it almost reminds me of that like old you remember when you would get an old computer and it always had that like 3D pinball game in there. That's what I'm picturing right now. Is that like piece of garbage
Where you
3D pinball
use like
thing.
the shift
Yeah,
as
it's
the bumper
both the shifts. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You can shake it like
with the space bar.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But
so
you get penalized for that.
Yeah,
Don't do that too much.
yeah,
wait,
don't
really,
do-
you get penalized for
If
it?
you-
If you do it
tilt,
too,
yeah.
if you tilt
Oh.
the machine too often,
It's
in
called
the
a
game.
tilt.
Yeah,
That's-
it's called
that's
tilt for a
actually really
reason.
cool.
Yeah.
And so this game, there was sadly only one stage, but I mean, considering the time period that it came out, and it was still really cool because it had like 3 tiers. It would have the bottom where if you go down the middle, you'd lose. It had the mid tier and then the high tier, and that's where you get the most points and stuff. And then there was like mini games pretty much where you fight like bosses essentially, and they have hits and points, and you gotta hit the pinball against them, and you deal damage, and you gotta explode them or defeat them, and you get more bonus points for that. And then of course you have bonus lives, and then you have point multipliers and stuff like that. And it was a really addictive pinball game actually. And one of the guys that was working there, he came over and he was like, yeah, supposedly that's one of the best like pinball video games of all time. And I was like, okay.
Thanks.
And yeah, we just enjoyed it a lot. My friend was like, can we go and play Devil's Crush now? Can we play the Devil's Crush? Yo,
So now you gotta buy it. What is it? Oh, it was on TurboGrafx.
yeah, TurboGrafx.
You
Actually,
need
it's
to go
not
buy
that
a
much.
console.
It's
and then
like
you gotta...
$60 or something.
TurboGrafx
Yeah, my
is?
friend looked it up. It's not that much for a retro console because
All right, maybe we gotta.
we gotta get
for
it.
the channel.
That would be
playing
actually
it.
really unique. I don't know how many people cover the TurboGrafx 60.
Not very many. All right. Well, as a game that I have 2. One we've already talked about way too much on this show, and I'm gonna keep it really short. Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild was one of those games that I totally didn't think I was gonna like. I bought a Switch, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna get Binding of Isaac for now.
What's the one game you get with it?
Yeah, exactly. And Binding of Isaac wasn't out yet. It came out the next day, so I was like, all right, well then I'm gonna buy Zelda then. And then $400 later, I walked out of the store. And then I played it like everyone else did. I like it. I tried Zelda games beforehand, and there was just nothing that really grabbed me like Breath of the Wild did. And I don't know what it is about it. I think it's just the little things that happen in the game where like you can climb anything, and you can you teach yourself how to play the game, which I'm just gonna leave it at kind of that because we've talked about it a lot. You can watch the other episodes, but segueing into just exactly like the other game, which I totally didn't think I would like, was Persona 4 Golden. I didn't think Persona was gonna be a game that I like. I look at RPGs and specifically JRPGs, and I'm like, I don't like any of this stuff. Like Final Fantasy, don't like it. I don't know I don't know. I just never have gotten into the point where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna play this game.
Yeah. I know for myself, when I was younger, I couldn't get into JRPGs either. Like when Final Fantasy 7 came out, when those came out, I just couldn't play a JRPG. I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah, there's something about it, and like the Western RPGs, I'd go into every once in a while, dip into. But even then, it's like, Fallout and, the Elder Scrolls series. There was never something that was standing out of, okay, it's great. I have inventory, like, cool, whatever. I don't know if and when it came down to, would you consider Pokemon a JRPG?
I would.
It is Japanese
Yeah,
RPG.
yeah.
And
But
it
I
is
mean,
a
like, it's
turn-based-
kind of its own thing.
To me, it fit. To me, as somebody who doesn't play Pokemon,
Yeah.
to me, I would call it a JRPG. It
Okay.
does fit into that
the criteria.
yes.
Of, like, it checks the
Well,
boxes.
'cause
and
yes.
stuff.
Pokemon
And
is
not just because it's like, oh, it's an RPG producing, it comes out of Japan. No,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it's even if that was the sense, then the Demon Souls, Dark Souls series would be a JRPG.
Yeah.
But it's not
Western
It's
RPG,
the,
yeah.
Yeah,
So
'cause
I would call Pokemon a
Pokemon is
traditional
really
style
like-
JRPG.
It's very similar to SMT, where you have
Yeah.
type advantages and you have the different like demons or Pokemon or whatever personas. But the only thing that separates it is that it's not overly Japanese, like the
Yeah.
Japanese style where they have like it looks like anime, like straight up anime. It's
Yeah.
just like
Oh, I think it does. I look
Well,
at that and
No, like,
I mean,
not
from the outside
traditional.
looking in,
Okay,
you'll
yeah.
say that, but like
Yeah.
when you're in there, and this is part of the reason why I probably like Persona, because I loved Pokemon, and so it's kind of like, I guess you could say Persona's the next step after Pokemon, because now you got like the mature version of a story that you've always looked for, that as a Pokemon fan you never get, and you probably never will, which is unfortunate. But
Pokemon After Dark.
hey, there's some times where like a good dark Pokemon story could be great.
Oh, actually, in Sun and Moon, if you haven't played that game, it's pretty good.
Okay. See, he's always wanting me to beat this game, and I have no time to play the game.
If you want to play this game, oh man, it's got some twisted moments. It's been out for a while now, so like
you might as well wait till the Switch version comes out.
I guess, yeah. Everyone who's played the game and beaten it by now knows what I'm talking about.
But yeah, so like Persona 4, I had a Vita beforehand, and I had like the Assassin's Creed, like the white one that apparently is pretty limited to find. I had that first, and all I played on it was Uncharted Golden Abyss and MLB The Show. And after I beat Uncharted, I was like, all right, well, there's nothing else on here. Sell it. And so I sold it back to GameStop.
That's what I did. That's what I did with mine.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I regret doing that because it was the LED model, and so it looked a little better, not the OLED one. But I went back and bought another Vita, specifically because I'll name drop even Greg Miller here, because he was even talking about Persona 4, and then after I got into the whole voice acting thing of, not me personally, but just knowing who people were, and then
your boy's in it, isn't he?
But hold on. I didn't know. It was more of like I knew the voice actors were good, and so I was like, all right, I'd play, and all of a sudden they were really driving the line, and when Aaron Fitzgerald, who plays Chie, and you're kind of like, oh yeah, I like this character, and then eventually you start growing attachments to these like Yosuke and Yukiko, and then eventually Kanji gets introduced, and as soon as Kanji got introduced, I was like, oh, this guy's really good. Like, he's driving a lot. There's a lot of emotion towards it. And I'm like, wait a minute. He sounds a lot really familiar. And I looked it up, and sure enough, it's Troy Baker.
It's your boy.
So Troy Baker, he was in it. But then I was like, all right, well, that after I found out, like, all these characters were all being played by voice actors that were, these characters can really go through the screen and just connect with you without you really saying dialogue. And I like how I'm saying you, because you is you. So
you mean you as your character?
Yes,
yeah,
you is his name. But anyway,
that's his actual name is you.
Yes.
Nice.
So, which is very confusing. But I never experienced a game that was just so long, but over this time frame, you got these little branches of characters that you wouldn't have been. You chose to be hanging out with this person. Like, if you wanted to talk with Chie and have this relationship with Chie, you had to make time for them. And so, as opposed to, okay, it's like there's a decision in the game where you can join band or you can join acting class, right? That's the one.
Nobody likes acting.
I chose the acting one because I saw the anime, and so that was what drove me into that as well. Oh yeah, and then the fact I watched the anime first kind of ruined the story for me, but I still like it. I still love the game. But that's what brought me into that, and I kept with it, and I played on the stream, on Twitch, and that was one of those games that I thought I'd never ever like, and now it's gone to the point where Christian bought the game and actually let me borrow it so I can play Persona 5, because he's not a Persona fan, but he will play it later.
Right.
But it was really cool. So that's probably the biggest game that I was totally but then I gave it a shot and I instantly fell in love with the franchise. And you've been a Shinigami Tensei and Persona fan for longer than that, but
I like my RPG.
Yeah. But I think that's all I got. I mean, is that? Did you have any more?
I had two more, but I don't want to. I mean, I'll give
you 2 minutes.
I'll name drop. I'll just name drop one because this was back when I had my PSP and I didn't really have anything to play on it. So I looked through the store and there was a game on there. It was a JRPG and it was called Brave Story New Traveler. and it was just
Octopath Traveler. No, I'm just kidding.
and it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was a very classic style turn-based JRPG. The visuals were nice. There was character combinations that you could learn and build by just using characters together. The story was, but I really sunk a lot of time into that game, and I really enjoyed that. And I don't even think it's on the PSN anymore. I remember I tried to
Knowing
re-download
PlayStation, it's not on the PS4. I can tell you that much. So.
because I remember when I got my hands on another PSP, I was like, oh, can I download this game on my account? And I couldn't find it. Like it wasn't in like my so I think they took it off for some reason. But I really like that. And then another big one for me was Mirror's Edge. I remember when it was announced, I was like, there's no way this game is going to be awesome. And then, yeah, I know.
Where's the back? Oh, you moved it.
No, it's just hiding behind all the Mass Effect stuff.
Yeah, that's right behind there.
Yeah. I remember, seeing videos of it, and I'm like, it's just a running game, like a first-person running
Lame.
game. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. And then the demo dropped. I downloaded the demo, and I was playing. Yeah, and it's just the tutorial area, and I was just running around that place for hours. And I really, really liked that game. I even liked the new one. Yes, I don't think the new one is like what they were hoping it would be, but I really enjoyed just running around. I didn't really like the whole open world thing. I wish it was more of a straighter, sort of path of a story.
I wish I
but
could just run straight forever.
yeah.
Just like it's just a temple run,
Yeah.
like 3D temple run.
But yeah, that game really changed my view on what you can do with the first person genre, and I really enjoyed it because it was like a platforming puzzle game in first person that was really fluid. It was really fun, and I enjoyed it enough to get that edition, the one with that one. So, and I even have the messenger bag, that you got
Yep.
for I carry. Yeah, people always ask me, "Where'd you get that? Where'd you get that?" And yeah,
You got that for the first one or the second one?
it's for you had to pre-order the first one,
Oh,
and
okay.
then there was such a limited quantity of those bags that the store that I pre-ordered it from only had the one. So I got lucky and got the only, because there was two, because at the time there was still GameStop and Electronics Boutique.
Yeah, EB Games.
Yeah, EB Games, and they were technically owned by the same parent company. And I pre-ordered my game with
Rest in peace.
I pre-ordered my game with EB, but they didn't have the bags. But GameStop upstairs did get in one bag, so they went up to GameStop,
Yeah,
grabbed
that
the
was
bag.
always weird that EB Games and GameStop are always in the same
Yeah.
building, like in the same mall. They're
Yeah.
in the same mall.
Yeah, and so the guy literally walked upstairs, grabbed the one bag they had, and I got it.
Nice.
And
nice.
so that's why I take it to work all the time because I love it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you put in the comment section below the game that you fell asleep on, the sleeper games that you went back and just said, hey, this actually is really, really good.
Yeah, just give it a second shot.
Yeah, you gave that second shot. On to the next one. We're talking about esports, electronic sports. I don't know if that's what esports actually said, but that makes sense,
I'm a
right? It's kind of like IGN, like internet gaming news. Like that's what it reminds me of, but then it doesn't mean anything.
It
Yeah.
doesn't even mean that. It means imagine.
It doesn't mean anything now. It's just IGN.
Oh, it doesn't stand for the what?
Not like we're like
imagine-
trashing IGN. I'm just saying,
No,
like
no.
I have
Well, I
no
thought
idea
it-
what IGN stands for
I
anymore.
thought it used to stand for originally stand for like Imagine Game Network or something like that.
Yeah,
something like just that you wouldn't picture
Yeah,
it
yeah,
being.
yeah. But it doesn't stand for anything anymore.
I haven't been on that website in years.
IGN? Yeah, I go there every once in a while. Every once in a while.
But
I'm just joking.
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about esports. Specifically, there was some news that happened actually earlier this year. This topic's been kind of in my back pocket, so I'm gonna give you guys some information. You guys here, and then you guys can kind of just
The
top on
only
with it.
esports that I'll just cut in real quick with
No,
my,
yeah,
with
tell
my
me
take
what-
on
what
on
sorry.
esports.
What esports you enjoy watching?
The only esports that I really, because I used to be really into Smite.
Okay.
Okay, I mean you knew that
There
we
was-
played
yeah,
it
we
together.
were-
We
we
played
were
it
kind of
together,
the same way, yeah.
but you knew that I played it way more than you did.
There's a
I
lot
was,
more
I was
money
way,
that was spent on your end than mine.
Oh, I spent $90 just
on a free game.
no. Oh no, I've spent more than that total. I spent $90 just to get Aphrodite's witch skin.
How much money did you spend on League of Legends when you were playing League? Do you
More
think you
than-
spent that
more
much?
than $90?
Oh,
That's for
really?
sure.
You
Yeah.
spent way more than
No,
that?
I've probably have spent at least between $250 and $300 on Smite on boxes and skins and things like that.
Because they didn't have the new loot system that they have incorporated in League of Legends, where you can earn essence and unlock skins and champions for free, pretty much.
yeah, because
Oh,
the
now you can do that?
Yeah, now you can do
So
that.
it's now actual free to play.
Well, like you can, if you take the time, you can
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much earn all these things. Although it's random because it's like drop rates and stuff like
yeah,
that.
because
okay.
yeah, because
Is it like Overwatch now? Is it
No,
a
not
loot
like
box?
that. Not like
Oh,
that.
okay.
It's like you get shards, and if you get a certain amount of shards, you can turn it into like essence or something like that, and then you convert the essence into like some.
Yeah.
thing. It's
Needless
yeah.
to say, you don't play League of Legends.
I
anymore.
haven't played in probably a year or so. A little
But
bit
yeah.
longer.
but
There's
yeah,
something wrong with this mic. But go ahead.
Yeah, and then during that time, because I haven't played Smite in a long time, like since basically Overwatch came out. I
Yeah.
haven't played it since Overwatch came out, and
But
but
it took your mindless game.
yeah, and yeah, basically, but back then as I would play my games, I would listen to the Smite World Championships.
And
You
then
know,
you bought
please.
the season. We all bought season tickets.
Yeah, we bought the season ticket. We were all placing, doing the whole little not bet thing, but predict the winners of the games. And I was
the game has an like, who do you think will win?
yeah,
And then you
every
earned a
week
certain
you
amount.
you could go into each week and you would see who's playing who, and you could be like, well, I think this team's gonna win, and if you guess
Purely just guessing.
well, I mean, if you follow the
Yeah,
matches, you would
yeah.
know, like you would have a better idea.
Yeah,
It would be
yeah.
a more educated guess, and
Yeah.
if you guessed the right team, you would get points, and those points then you would accumulate, and when you would hit certain numbers, you would unlock things like voice, announcer packs and special skins and loot boxes and things like that. And so for during the Smite World Championships, I think it was 2016 World Championships. I was really into that. That's pretty much been the only esport that I ever followed for any period of time. I personally have a hard time getting into it, primarily because I never know when it's on, or what game it is.
It
And-
seems like it's always on.
Yeah, it seems like there's
like always
so
something.
if I go
somewhere.
on Twitch right now, there's probably some tournament over in Asia going on somewhere.
Yeah.
That's usually what it is.
Yeah.
But like if there was like a set schedule and all that, and it was easy for me to follow, like if because Smite had all of that in their games, like menu screens and stuff like that, so it was easy for me to follow. Where if like Overwatch did that, where they said, hey, these matches are happening,
we'll get into that.
at this time,
we
because
do.
I know Overwatch is trying to do its esport thing. But if I knew when they were on and where I could watch them, I probably would at least have them on in the background and listen to them while I played a game, like I did with Smite, or while I did chores, cleaned up the apartment, that kind of thing. But they don't have that kind of system in the game, and I'm not the one to kind of go out to look for it. So
Yeah.
if they brought up a thing like a little menu system where like, hey, this is the schedule for the season, I would probably check it out, and I would probably tune in.
What about you, Quinn? What is your experience with esports? Did you watch League of Legends when it was on esports? When you were playing League, or
Back in my senior year of class, when I
way back in the senior year?
quite a few years ago, 20 years to be exact.
Oh yeah. You were 2 when you were in high school, or you were what? No, are you even 20?
I'd be -1
Wow. Okay.
when I graduated high school. Anyway, there was this one kid that I would sit with. I don't really want to talk about him.
Okay.
Needless to say.
No,
Needless
all
to
right.
say.
He would watch like random league pro, like TSM versus whatever, because he really liked TSM, which is Team Solo Mid. Everybody who plays League knows pretty much who TSM is.
They have a Smite team. as
Yeah, I
well.
think they have
won.
just all MOBA teams.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Team
Right,
Solo
for-
Mid.
yeah.
So.
And so I'd watch it in class with him, and I'd be like,
Nerd.
no, I'd be like, no, there'd be some really cool stuff that would
Go
happen,
ogre
but
on 'em.
I'd just be like,
Thank you for
I
getting
just
that.
watched
I'm old
because-
enough to get that reference.
But yeah, you watched him
I
play.
didn't-
Though.
I
I mean, you watched him watch him.
Well,
Play
he would sit in
the-
front of me and we watch it together, and we didn't really do anything in the class because the teacher was just like, "Do your work, and if you do your work good."
I had a teacher like that. The teacher was literally like, "This is our criteria. Don't. You can do whatever you want as long as you don't bother the people around you." That was pretty much it.
All right, there you go.
Yeah. But yeah, continue.
Oh, and like Street Fighter 5 and Smash. Although I never really considered
Do
those
they do
games.
that for like Evo? Like the
Yeah, like Evo and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I never really considered those games like esports until I guess because the term is, I would say, fairly recent.
Yeah, because well, a lot of people call it MLG.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then the new term now is esports, but there's two different associations, I guess. There's the esports association, and then there's MLG, which is just Major League Gaming, which is still around. It's just which I actually got some of this stuff from, but
Yeah.
yeah,
But those were the only games that I really watched. I just never considered them like, of course, sports. I
Yeah,
was just like, these guys
play
play
games.
video games
Yeah.
very well,
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much. Like they go to tournaments. That's how I would always say it. But ever since like what's it called? What's that sports channel? I don't follow sports. so-
ESPN?
Yeah, ESPN two.
Yeah,
or
you know that
whatever.
one that's been around for a little bit.
Ever since ESPN two or whatever started, like they advertise a lot for like
Yeah.
Street Fighter 5 tournaments and stuff like that. Like I was sitting in Buffalo Wild Wings, and then they were like catch, and it's really weird seeing like Snake Eyes and stuff like this, like really big Street Fighter 5 players like that I know from just like daily vlog videos and stuff. They're like normal dudes
Yeah,
being
yeah.
like advertised as these like high end sort of like sports stars, because it's really weird because they paint them in a completely different light.
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
because
Because they're trying to aim for an audience that would normally not watch.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, because like a little while ago, about a year, maybe 2 years ago, Activision signed a big deal with ESPN, and Activision known for buying Blizzard, and so now you'll see Heroes of the Dorm, which is I think a ingenious idea for the game. You know what Heroes of the Dorm does? So
Isn't that where they do the little campus
it's
tournament?
So they do
themed or
campus
whatever?
tournaments, and
Yeah.
then they come in, and then those people represent that school, and then the winning team gets their tuition paid for
Yeah.
the rest of their college career. I think either a whole year or their college career, but either way, that's awesome. Like
Yeah.
they just take a whole semester off, and then they just go play this game, and then they come back, and then they're like, "Yep, I got it all paid for, and you're
That's
good to go."
so cool. That
But
is really cool.
I think Blizzard came up with that first, and then
I-
ESPN started doing Heroes of the Dorm.
I'm pretty sure Blizzard would probably push that over Activision.
yeah, probably. But yeah,
Let's
so
be honest here.
yeah. But yeah, so like ESPN has done that with them, and so that's why you'll see on ESPN2 like Evo was actually on there, which was really crazy to see because I was like, I don't know why this is even on there because they were doing Street Fighter, and Street
Yeah, I
Fighter is not
watched
owned
it.
by either one of those companies. But yeah, I actually watched it with my dad, which was really weird too. But yeah, my first kind of look into esports, I actually have been to a League of Legends esports thing, the North American Regionals. It used to be here in Seattle when PAX was going on. Thank God it does not happen there anymore. And I don't say that in saying that esports is terrible or League of Legends is terrible or Riot is. It's more of, those were robbing tickets from people that like those are literally people buying those tickets just to see that.
Oh,
And
people
those are
buying
warm bodies.
people are buying PAX
PAX
tickets to go
just to see that
League of Legends.
you had to get a PAX ticket to go in and watch League of Legends. So they don't do that anymore, and now I think League is not even in Washington anymore. But I think somewhere around the same time is Dota, and they do that at Key Arena, which is pretty cool.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I think esports has kind of grown, and being there is really cool. It's this. I didn't know very much about League of Legends when I was there at the North American Regionals, but it was really cool to see like these people are as passionate as people that go to football games or as passionate as people that go to basketball or baseball games. It's the fans. These are fans that love what is happening, and it's almost the same thing. Now, I don't know. I think competition-wise, it's the same as sports. Traditional sports, but in the sense of, do you classify it as a sport? I don't know. I'm still on the fence of like I can go either way. And I'm also on the thing of why did we stop calling it MLG? And I get it, it's two different associations, but MLG made more sense than esports. And if we just call it electronic sports, then it's still not all of them unless everyone's playing Rocket League. Then it's not a sport game.
Electronic sports to me sounds more like nerdy, and I know they want to have it sound more flashy.
Yeah, I think esports does make it sound a little bit more of like, oh, that's interesting. Even if you didn't know what it was, you'd still look it up. So I went through and got some numbers here. I haven't looked at my notes in a while, but I'm gonna. So these are the top games awarding by prize money, and so we're gonna go from 5. These are the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
This is from esportsearnings.com, so pretty official website, because I also looked at a few other websites and they were pretty much the same numbers. At number 5 is Counter-Strike. Not really a shock. None of these games will shock you that they're up here.
Right. Yeah.
And so this is the tournament happens, the major thing. These are worlds happen. Top 2 in the world teams come in, play the game, they win this prize money. 10,770,000. Yeah, is that 10? Yes, it is. Okay, $10,771,935.77 was given to the winner. 10 million, almost $11 million.
I don't think that much. I don't think that much amount of money was given to the people for winning. I think that's probably how much prize money they gave out in their
that is
in
the
their
top.
league.
That's what they got. That's the winner.
Okay.
Got that number.
All right.
Yeah, because I looked at when I got to Dota, I had to make sure.
But this is split amongst a team, right?
Yeah. Okay. So Counter-Strike, maybe has like 6 players, maybe.
It
seems like
I've
a
never
shooter
played
number.
Counter-Strike, so.
Yeah, and that's the first Counter-Strike. That's
five.
only
There's 4 or 5. I think there's 5.
Yeah, and that's just Counter-Strike. That's not CS:GO. That's Counter-Strike.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we'll get to that.
Okay.
So at number 4, StarCraft 2. That game is years old. Years old. Expansions have come out. 3 of them, I think, at this point, and I think they're done making stuff for it. $21,845,465.64 was given to that group.
Mm-hmm.
That is a lot of money for $21 million. CS:GO with $30 million. I'm just gonna go with the end numbers.
Yeah.
$30 million.
30.2.
Yeah, 3.2. Yeah, 30.2. At number 2, no shock here, was League of Legends with $37 million, $37.2 million. And then at number 1 was Dota 2 with $95 million given out.
Wow.
I didn't even know Dota was like that big of a thing to beat League of Legends that badly. Because when I was at PAX, League of Legends looks like it's the bigger game that everyone plays. But I guess Dota 2 is still that.
One thing that you have to take into consideration with the 2 though is League of Legends is free to play, and I don't believe Dota 2 is.
I thought it was free to play.
It's free. It's Steam's.
It's free to play. Yeah, it's just Valve's version of it.
Well, no, I thought that you had to.
I've played it.
Okay, all right. I
thought
that
wouldn't
one
pay
you
money
had
for
to,
a MOBA. So.
I thought that one you had to actually buy it.
I think the first one you had to buy.
The first one,
Dota.
Yeah.
the original Dota was a mod.
Yes, of World of Warcraft.
Of Warcraft 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently not a lot of people know that. And then at number 6 with Hearthstone, I just wanted to pick a few games out here that people might know as well. Hearthstone had 7 million, a little over 7 million. Smite was at number 9 with a little over 6 million. Halo 5 was at number 12 with about $3 million. Overwatch is at 18, which is shocking because that game has not been out for a year, and it's already at over $2 million.
It'll be a year this month.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
It came out.
So I
May
guess
20th.
maybe
It came out like May 20th, right?
that was a weird release date.
It was like May
Did
20th.
it really come out? I bought it the day. No, I did not buy day 1.
I bought it.
I
I had
yelled
it
at you
day
about
1.
how I was never gonna buy that
and
game.
you said, I don't like Overwatch.
Yeah, and then eventually you
Yeah.
guys talked me into it.
I'm the only one I believe out of us that play on Xbox. I'm the only one that had it day 1.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because I talked to you about it.
Yeah, Quinn was like the only person at work that I could talk to
And
about.
I had
And
my jacket like
Yeah.
6 months before the
Yeah,
game even
yeah,
came
And
out.
you had
I
your
had-
cup, or you had your thing.
I had this shirt before the game came
I
out.
remember that too.
Alex, when the guys got back from the con, Alex was like, "Well, hope you're happy, David. We all hopped on the Diva train and got a Diva shirt." And I was like, "Well, it took you a convention to have it. I've had my Diva."
That just shows you how faithful they were.
Yeah, and it's
Exactly.
like you guys literally just got your first Diva shirt like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, well, I got mine before the game was even released.
Yeah.
You know, this one, this one right here.
And at number 19 was Super Smash Bros. Melee, which
That's the GameCube one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
It's still the most popular, I believe,
Yeah,
in terms
because
of.
I think a lot of people like the GameCube controller. That's the
Well,
reason
yeah,
why.
that and also.
I didn't.
Which I have no idea.
I didn't.
You cannot explain that to me in a way that I'm going to understand why the GameCube controller is the best fighting
Oh,
controller.
really?
It just doesn't make any. I mean, not in the sense
Wait,
of.
have you played with it before?
No,
Oh,
that's what
okay.
I'm saying. Like, I want to specify. It's not in the sense of like, oh, I think X controller is better. I don't understand why everyone was making a big deal about it when the Wii U had that little brick thing, and everyone was able to play the GameCube controllers again
Yeah.
on.
That's what
the new
everyone
one.
did too for Smash 4. They used the GameCube controllers because it has the adapter.
And then at number 100 because it was a 100 list.
100.
I just wanted to get the number 100 on there.
Yeah.
The lowest one that made the list still was it was Quake World, which was $91,330.16.
All right, guys, we need to hop on that Quake World hype train.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I'm more curious to see how it's gonna do once they start airing it on TV.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the thing.
And
There
that,
are other leagues looking at this,
Well, yeah.
specifically the NBA, because segue into in next year the NBA will team up. This is from Engadget, so I just want to let you guys know. In 2018, NBA will team up with Take-Two, which are the guys who make
NBA 2K.
Yep, and they
2K
also make
series.
Mafia 3. They also make BioShock. They also make
Take-Two publishes
yeah,
a
they publish-
lot.
Yeah,
They're-
even GTA.
Yeah, I was gonna say GTA.
they are under
They own. They're above Rockstar.
Yeah, Rockstar is under the umbrella of Take-Two.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Take-Two owns to own esports. So the NBA will team up with Take-Two to make some esports teams, similar to the way that teams can own or even share development league squads. So there will be like the Seattle Mariners, not because obviously that's a baseball team, but I'm just using this. Seattle Mariners, Tacoma Rainiers.
Yeah.
Like they will have that sort of tier to it. There will be 8 to 12 initial teams to start, which are less than in the NBA.
Right.
And each one will feature 5 human players, and the plan is to eventually have one of each of the leagues, one representing each of the teams, which are 30, I believe. Quote, each player will participate as a custom created avatar, end quote, says the CEO of Take-Two.
Yeah.
So it should be interesting. So they will be a created character. They won't be playing as Steph Curry, or they won't be playing as LeBron James. They will be playing as
themselves.
John Smith. Like they are going to be playing as that person. But I'm curious, what do you guys feel about that? Do you think? I think sports will probably like the set sports organizations will take this first. Like if the NBA does this, then possibly the NFL might do it because there's obviously a big
With
Madden
Madden.
thing, and that's usually Xbox sponsors that every year, and they've done that since the Xbox, I believe.
Something like that.
Ever since Xbox, I believe Madden was one of the first games to have Xbox Live compatible with it, along with Halo. So Halo 2.
Well,
I know it was big when Madden
I know
was doing it.
Madden you could play online on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, because the broadband thing. But I think it was really big with Xbox.
Because that was one of the first games I played online was on the PlayStation 2 because it came when you bought the network adapter for the PlayStation 2. It came with a little demo disc that had some games that you played.
Madden was on there.
Madden was on there.
Because I think that also started the EA Xbox deal because that was more of. I mean, they've been together for decades at this point. But I'm curious, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that if the NBA does this, do you think maybe we might be seeing some, possible professional teams at some point, and maybe a Seattle representative? I mean, obviously we don't have an NBA Seattle team, but will there be everyone's going to, the Seattle Evergreens to go see them play, and this is our esport team?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it'll probably get to that point. I would imagine though I think it has to build a TV fan base sort of first, and I think that still is like that's just I don't think you can really predict that yet. No, it is growing and growing and growing, and I think that's why a lot of these teams like the NBA is getting involved in it, because it's just gonna make money.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, that's always a good thing.
so.
What about you, Quinn? Do you think that the NBA stepping in is a right direction, or are they just doing it too much too soon right now?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't say if they're stepping in too soon or anything, but I think it's actually, from my eyes or whatever, impressive how fast esports has like developed, because I watched a documentary on Smash about how the Smash community first got started with Melee, and this was way after Melee came out. It was just a group of guys that would travel across country to country, going to people's like small tournaments, and eventually it just caught on and caught on and caught on and got bigger and bigger.
Isn't that what like the Summit does? Like those guys that are on Twitch or something like that?
I have no idea.
You talking about the speedrunners?
Is that what those Summit does? I
I
thought
have
they do
no
like
idea.
pro stuff. Anyway.
But so it just ended up being to the point where they didn't even have to leave, like, or I didn't mean country, I meant state. I don't know why I said country.
Yeah, it's fine.
And so the point where there were tournaments, still a bunch of tournaments in state, and now of course it's so big now that it was weird because at the time that documentary was made, I believe it was like 2010 or something. Fast forward to like 2016, 2017, and now like Mango, Mewtwo King, and all that. It's really weird because they get the like esports star treatment now, and like they have like a bunch of people going like, well, what did you think of your last match? And stuff like that. And it's so weird seeing how, because if you watch the tournaments from like 2006 or 2007, besides playing on like CRT TVs and stuff like that,
They didn't give a crap about those players.
they were just like dudes in like
Huddled in a room next to each
freaking
other.
dark room
Yeah.
in like a garage or something, and you just hear there's no sports coverage, no nothing. It's just dudes going, oh my god, dude, what?" and stuff like that, and it's just crazy. It's weird how the evolution of that takes off. So I don't know. I think like in terms of time, it's really blown up very fast, like a lot faster than I would have expected. Like as a kid, when Melee and all that came out, I would have never anticipated, like, if you told me I could make money playing a video game, I wouldn't have believed you. That's my dream job as a kid, but I would have never saw it as something that was like a viable future for people.
Yeah, because like I think there's a Vice documentary about esports and how it's big in Korea, and how I believe they were doing StarCraft 2.
I saw that. I saw
yeah,
that one,
really good documentary.
Yeah.
But they talk about. I mean, even I listened also to Rooster Teeth's thing, and they were talking. I believe Gus was talking about how when he was in Korea, he was in South Korea, obviously. He went to a stadium and he was like, "Oh, I thought this was the esports stadium." And somebody was walking by and went like, "Oh yeah, that's their old stadium. They have a new one on the other side of town." It's like, that's crazy to think this whole stadium was designed for this video game group, and now they have a whole new one because they were because like Team Samsung, I believe, is like a huge team. I don't know what they're called, but I know that the Samsung team is always it's almost in every single tournament that has to do with like StarCraft and stuff like that. But yeah, it's interesting to see esports grow, and I'm curious to see how ESPN's gonna do it, because I believe that Activision and ESPN deal is really high up there. I think I'm curious to see why there's no Call of Duty stuff going on, but that's interesting.
Because it's Call of Duty.
No, but I mean, like, it's everyone buys Call of Duty. It's that game that you buy. So it's become like Madden. Like, there's people that don't like Madden, but people still buy Madden.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should be interesting to see what goes on with that. But I think we're good. Yeah. All right.
On to the next segment.
Exactly. Quinn, this is yours.
All right. Do you want me to lead it off?
It's your topic.
With a
Whatever you want to
question?
do.
All right.
If you want to pick one of us, that's also cool too.
So my question was, what video game universe would you like to live in the most? And we were discussing, and we were talking whether or not we'd like to. It can be either or, in my opinion. If you want to live during the events that take place in that video game universe, so if it was like Halo, if you wanted to be fighting as Master Chief or alongside Master Chief, whatever, fighting the Covenant or whatever, or if you'd rather just before those events happen, so you just be like,
You're just a citizen
Yeah.
when everything was all
Yeah.
fine and okay.
and dandy, exactly. And I guess I'll start first.
Okay,
I'll just
all right.
lead off the thing.
No problem.
So I had a really hard time thinking of a universe I would want to live in, because a lot of the times I was thinking, it kept going back to, well, I would probably die.
Yeah,
Because
that's normal.
even if the events didn't happen, the universe still has like the technology and all that and stuff like that. And I just feel like along some way, shape, or form, I would get into trouble or something would go down.
Mhm.
Because like if I said, oh, I want to live in the Star Wars universe, even though that's technically like not a video game universe,
Sort of.
though it does
yeah,
have-
no, it's just,
I know at some point I would probably be held at gunpoint by someone with a blaster
Yeah.
in like a shady corner, and
Yeah.
they'd be like, "Give me your credits" or something like that.
there are dark
And then
times in
you'd
the
be
galaxy.
one of the many people that loses their left arm
Yeah.
or right arm. Yeah.
And so I was like, well, what kind of universe can I live in that is like kind of cool, but I don't have to think about me getting like mugged or dying or something like
yeah,
that.
that's always a good
And
thing.
so that was really hard, because I was like, well, Fire Emblem would be cool, but then they're always in like war. That's like the main plot of Fire Emblem. And if you're not in war, then it's just like, it's anime like King Arthur times. That's what it is. And I was like, I don't want to live in anime King Arthur times.
Yeah.
They don't have good bathrooms.
Yeah, that's your
That's
your
your
moment.
checkbox. Yeah.
You're like,
no.
no.
good bathrooms. I got a shovel. I got to go dig a ditch.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Not dealing with that.
No bucket. No bucket for you.
And so I was like, off the very top of my head, the first thing that I was thinking was like, I guess the Animal Crossing universe wouldn't be so bad. I mean, I'd be the only human, but at least I'd have my own home. I wouldn't have to think about.
But you
like,
have to work like for the rest of your life. You would have to do something.
I don't care. At least it would be in a paradise land where everybody's like, "Do you want to hear about my story today? Do you want to give me a carpet?" and
You
stuff
have
like
you have
that?"
dogs playing guitars and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
You know, it's a great time.
And there's like good food. There's like human food. I don't have to eat like nuts off the ground or anything like that. I still get to be human. I get to dress in my own clothes.
Yep.
I get to go fishing. I don't have to like work an actual job. I don't have to go like work at a 7-Eleven or something. In order to get my money, I shake trees and hope for the money to rain down from it. I hit rocks with my shovel to get money. And so that's like the closest I could come to paradise.
There you go. Animal Crossing is paradise because you can shake trees for money and smack rocks with shovels. That was your game?
That was
your game?
my game universe.
Awesome. All right, who do you want to go next?
I'll go. I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Take the lead on this one.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't mind. Yeah. I've got so I do have two. I have one. The one where I was looking at is what one would I want to live in before the events of the game, and what would I like to live in during the events of the game.
Okay.
I think the one that I would like to live in like before the events of the game, I think would be Rapture, in BioShock.
Okay. Yep.
Before it all,
Dystopian world ruled by
before
him. That's
before okay, before
it's
Winter
still
Road.
ruled by him.
I don't
But
care. I think
it
it'd be
hasn't gone to
interesting.
crap yet. It hasn't
It'd be
gone to
interesting.
crap
I would
yet.
rather back when it was like still functional, like a
Yeah.
functional city.
Yeah.
I would personally rather live there over
Rapture being the city that's in BioShock. Just so you guys know.
is in this it's the underwater city in BioShock. I would rather like live there versus like Columbia up in the sky, because Columbia.
Oh, you don't want to live in the racist town?
Well, not only that, but like Columbia, it just has so much like religious style undertones to it. That's just such a part of the game.
I mean,
that-
you do get to technically see what Columbia looks like before everything
Right.
happens, because
Yeah, but I don't that type of, I would rather live in that sort of industrial sort of
steampunkish kind of look to it.
yeah, versus like up in there. I'd rather
Where
be
you
up,
fall to
in,
your death.
up,
up
over
up
there,
in there.
up over there in Colombia.
But yeah, I think it would be cool to live in a place like Rapture.
Oh yeah, yeah.
For because like
See them big daddies just walking around like
well,
normal.
like, did you guys play the first episode of the DLC for BioShock Infinite?
Oh no.
Where you're
Even
in,
though
or, when
Infinite's
you're
one of my
in,
favorite games, I
when
have
you're
still not
when
played
you're
the DLC.
in Rapture before it all goes to hell.
No.
Oh, it's cool.
I'm
You need
sure
to go
it is.
play it.
I know. You've told me. There are many things that everyone tells me to play. I can't play them all. I gotta get them all done.
As he looks at my girlfriend, who's always bugging him to play Ocarina of Time.
But I gotta get Breath of the Wild now. I still have it though. I haven't like sold it to GameStop or anything. So.
But yeah, that would be one I like living before the events. One that I thought where I would like to live in like during the events that I think would be like exciting, and I probably would maybe actively do something, would be in the Mass Effect universe.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not just saying that, like I feel like I would
That'd be wait. You said during
during
Okay,
the events.
all right.
Yeah, I feel
So
like
you
I would.
Citadel.
Yeah,
everything.
just kind of go living through all of that. Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like that would be interesting, fun,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
exciting.
You get to meet some of these characters. Here.
Probably not. They'll
You
probably
wouldn't see them. They're off doing
no.
important
They're
things.
yeah. I would just be a normal person, just a normal dude. Honestly, yeah.
Building's on fire.
But yeah, you know,
Yeah.
those were my two for that.
Well, since you're talking about Mass Effect, I also have said Mass Effect would be a universe that I live in.
Before events,
Yeah, see, I was thinking about that. Like as I'm like going through these,
Mhm.
I think I thought of I want to go with steal kind of your idea of where before,
yeah.
during, and after, because I have 3.
Okay.
During, I would probably say, well, I'd say Mass Effect beforehand, because this is where we're getting introduced to all these characters, but not even knowing those people, we step aside and not act as if we don't even know these people exist.
Yeah.
Like
It would be an
Mass Effect
exciting
universe
time, yeah.
is huge.
Yeah, it would be so exciting just
Huge.
to live in
You
during
can,
that time frame.
yeah, and all you got to do is get a ship, go off
Yeah.
into a distant land, and there's literally so many outcomes that could happen. You can meet crazy characters like Jack, or you can meet, on the boot soldier like Ashley. There's these characters exist in this universe, and it's a matter of if you're gonna figure these people out. And then even stepping away from that, you have also the aliens, because I don't know how you'd specify. There's so many of them.
No, they refer to them as non-humans.
They just refer to them as that? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I can't remember what they were. It's been a while since I played
Yeah.
Mass Effect. And then one that I would live during the time would be Pokemon. Clearly, this is the one that, I don't know. You actually brought this up. I didn't even think about it until you said, like, oh yeah, would you live in Pokemon? Yeah, of course I'd choose Pokemon, because who wouldn't want a Squirtle as like a character that just chills around with you the whole time? Like, and I wouldn't even know if I would be.
Would you be a trainer?
Yeah, because that's the thing is, like, do you be a trainer, a breeder, or there was the contest people?
Why
Who
don't you
else
be
was
a hiker?
a hiker? Yeah, fisherman, schoolboy. No, there would. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, what would I do? Would I be a trainer like how Ash Ketchum is, or would I be a breeder like Brock is, or eventually become a gym leader like Misty? But I mean, I don't know. I think just the fact that having them in the world and having these animal kind of things running about and then would do tasks. I don't think I would do the competition type stuff. So I might be a breeder. I might like enjoy the fact of just having them around. And I mean, remember, like Squirtle, I think in the Pokedex says he's like this big, right? So he's this, the size of a, maybe
My
a
cat.
German Shepherd puppy. Yeah, the size of your cat. Maybe like a German Shepherd puppy. Like that's how big Squirtle is.
Yeah,
That's a giant
same size
turtle.
belly.
Yeah, exactly. So
I have a fat cat.
but yeah, I would say Deering would be Pokemon, And then I think after the fact would be probably Persona, only because all the bad stuff's done. Now we can get on with our lives and we can hang out and chill. You know what I'm talking about. You hear with On. You know what I'm talking about. He knows what I'm talking about. All right, so
You are getting the biggest stink face from the bedroom right now.
What? Chilling without. But you be no, but I mean, like, after that, if you play Persona, you know the times that you can hang out with those characters are awesome. Like, just hearing what they have to say, like I've talked about in the last episode. No, 2 episodes ago. No, yes, 2 episodes ago when I talked about Persona 4 Golden was the
Or this episode, if you're watching all of it in one go.
5.1, that episode. Or yeah, earlier in the episode. Was that there are characters that are just so you want to figure out who these people are, and there's a personality with each individual person, even people that aren't even main characters, like the actress girl, not the band girl. She's a nerd. I don't know.
Yeah, but actress girl.
Yeah, she does kind of shun
Is that her
you.
like her actual name?
No,
Actor-
she has a name, but
It's
so
a
does
Japanese name. I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
But
Alright.
she is like a little standoffish and actually kind of a jerk for a while.
That jerk
but
is a
you
little bit
have
of a
to-
light term for her.
But if you work with her, if you
Yeah.
like, it's kind of the same thing with Jack. Like in Mass Effect, she's
Build
a
her trust.
huge jerk. But then after you figure her out and you kind of go, oh, there's a way longer story going on here. It's same with that girl as well, and with the band girl, I already knew what her thing was because I watched the anime, so that's why I chose that. But anyway, so during would be Pokemon, after would be Persona, and before would be Mass Effect. So that's my thing.
I just live in paradise the whole time.
Yeah, you just live in Animal Crossing the whole
Just
time.
hit- Purgatory,
Just
pretty
hitting
much
just
purgatory.
hitting rocks with shovels for money.
And then if I had a villager I didn't like, I just dig a hole right in
Oh
front of them.
my god! Put him down. Put him down. All right. Well, I think is that it? Is that all you
I
wanna
believe
do?
that wraps up everything.
think that's it.
Okay. Well, before we end things, what have we been playing this month of April? What did we play last month?
I picked up Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yes, you've been putting a lot into that.
I've been putting some time into that, and I'm really
There's a few
enjoying
voice actors
it.
in that game too, as well.
Yeah, isn't your boy in that
No,
one
I'm
too?
not. You refer to him as in like I have this sort of obsession with Troy Baker.
Quinn.
I don't.
But,
I don't have an obsession with Troy Baker because here's what I'm saying. You guys blow it way too out of proportion. This is what they're saying. Now look at here.
What?
No, look at them. What I'm saying, they are relating this to the fact that I own a lot of games that he's in, and I like a lot of the games that he's in. I'm not saying that I just like Troy Baker.
Super Mega Man Crush.
No.
So if he
I'm
walked
not
up to
saying
you
I just like
and
Troy
he
Baker.
was like, "Yo, Ryan, you're a cool dude. You want to hang out?" Would you say no?
Well, okay. Well, let me ask you, sir.
Here's the thing.
guy that plays McCree. I don't know.
Okay, it's Matt Mercer.
I knew it. See, you see, I knew that would get you.
And if he said yes, or he wanted to hang out with me, I would hang out with him.
But no, but here's the
but
thing.
that's
When
the-
I
but
when
that's
I
my
told
thing, though.
when I told Ryan I got Metal Gear Solid 5, his initial reaction was, "Oh, yeah, that's got Troy Baker in it, doesn't it?" And I'm like, "I don't know."
Yeah, he was because he's in the other Metal Gear game. He's in
Revolver
another.
also.
Yeah, he's Revolver Onslaught. Yeah,
No, he's in other games though. That's why I said that.
yeah, he's Revolver. Is he Revolver Onslaught
he's
in 3?
Oh, in 3? No, I don't know. I remember he's in 5 though, but for the 3,
Well,
I can't.
yeah, I don't remember who's the voice actor. I don't
was-
think he was the voice actor for Onslaught in
Okay.
3.
All right. Well, whatever.
I think this is the first one he's been in.
I just
but,
knew that he was somehow associated with Metal Gear, so that's
Yeah.
why I asked you if that was what he was in there.
Yeah.
Now, again, I'm not saying that I have some obsession with Troy Baker. What I am saying is that the games that I like, for example, BioShock Infinite was the first game I played with Troy Baker that was in it. And I was like, wow, Booker's awesome. Elizabeth is great. And then all of a sudden I found out that, oh yeah, Troy Baker plays him, and he's also in Persona. And he's also in Final Fantasy, and he's also in. He just has this long list of games. He's like Nolan North. If
yeah.
I would have said, "Oh yeah, in Uncharted 4, yeah, Drake is awesome because Nolan North plays him," It's just he has taken that spot in that crowd. Now your Matt Mercer obsession is a totally different story because he's in specific things. So let us not drive away from what has been said. Anyway, you've been playing Metal Gear.
Yeah.
I'm done talking to you. Over here, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Persona 5 with Matt Mercer.
He is actually in the game.
He signed my copy of the game too.
Yes, he did. He did.
What a bro. Anyway. And
See, that's a different thing now. Now, if Troy would have signed like my copy of Persona 4 or any of the 5 other games that I'd have him
You'd
because
be
he
a
just
bro.
some happens to be in it, yeah, he'd be awesome. But there's a story behind your thing, so.
but I've been playing Persona 5. I beat the game. I'm replaying it again. It's a lot of fun. I got 120 hours in it right now. Or
That's
something
about.
like
Isn't that what they said though? Like that would be.
Oh
how
no,
much...
I beat it at 90 hours. I'm
Oh,
30
you beat it underneath.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, okay.
30 hours into my next playthrough. I don't want to explain any of the story or
Yeah.
anything about it.
It's not like anyone would stream that or anything.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Awesome. I've been playing a lot of games over the last month of April. Went back and started playing Halo 5. And not like the story, but playing like Forge mode this last couple weeks with Ashton. You can check it out. Twitch.tv/Primal Target. You can watch it there. And then also I started playing Persona 4 over there on Twitch.tv/Primal Target. There you go. But yeah, I've been playing that as well. You can check it out if you choose to join me.
Who's in both of those games?
No.
Laura Bailey voice acts characters in both those games.
Oh, she does.
Yeah, she does.
What character does she voice in the 4?
In Persona 4?
Yeah.
Rize Kujikawa.
Oh, that's right. Yep. But she's in a lot of other games too.
I have no idea who. I don't know.
But-
I don't know any like
but
really
you
voice
see,
actors.
But
so.
you see,
I
don't
voice
start
Like, I
speaking
know-
out of turn when you don't know.
I don't really pay attention to or follow. Like I will recognize voices in
Yeah.
games. I won't know who it is. I can tell who Nolan North. I know who Nolan North is when I hear Nolan North.
Yeah.
I know
He
who
plays
Troy
Rocket in the new Guardians of the Galaxy thing.
Does he?
Yeah, in the Telltale Guardians of the
Oh,
Galaxy.
Telltale. I think in the
Yeah.
movie. I'm like in the movie.
No.
What?
I think Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, it's
plays-
Bradley. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, they lost Bradley Cooper from Nolan North. Yeah.
Where do you go on that one?
But yeah, like I can recognize those two. Anybody else, like I will recognize the voice from other games, but I won't. Like I don't know the name.
Yeah.
It's like it's like it's the same thing like anime.
Oh, anime's a different story though.
Yeah, that's yeah.
But normally, most of the time, it is the same person from another thing because they were just so happen to be in the
Right.
studio. So, but yeah, that's what it is. So yeah, I've been playing Persona 4 Golden and some Halo 5 here and there every Thursday, 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Twitch.
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
Troy Baker
Where you-
might be there.
Troy
Wow.
Baker be there in the comments.
Yeah.
on Twitch with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
He'll be like, "Thanks, Ryan, for your support."
Here's a follow. Click. No, but anyway, I think that's gonna do it. I think that's it. Yep. You've been playing Metal Gear. You've been playing Persona 5 over again, and I've been playing 4 and Halo 5. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to complete this episode of Bitcade. Yes, we made it shorter. I know. After that last one, we actually have to cut down. No, I'm just joking. This is how it happened. Remember, you can watch Bitcade on. See, that's when the thing happens. You got to check out the next one because that's if you watch less. Anyway, you can check us right here on YouTube. If you're watching us right here on YouTube, you can check out each individual topic spread out throughout the month. And at the end of the month, you can watch the full entire video there for your viewing pleasure every second of it. Plus, you can watch more content here on YouTube with PT Pals, PT Plays, because we might play another game around here, but I'm not going to commit to it because we didn't commit to Steep, so there's that. You can
We
also...
can still play. I was just playing it the other day.
You remember, I only have a limited time.
Yeah.
You can also go and follow us on @primal_target over there on Twitter. By doing that, you will get the notification on when we are going to stream on Twitch. You can get notified 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours in advance. But then over there on twitch.tv/primal_target, you can follow us, and by doing that, you can tune in live and play games with us. I don't know. So far, it's just me and Ashton playing Halo 5 every Thursday at 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time over there on twitch.tv/primal_target. But you can also follow us and like us over there on Facebook, facebook.com/primaltarget. And then over there on Instagram @primaltarget as well. That's going to be it. Thank you, David. Thank you, Quinn.
And thank you, Troy Baker and Matt Mercer, for all your hard
and
work.
Matt Mercer. They've never been in the same game. Just remember that.
Yeah, they have actually.
And we're moving on. See you guys in the next video. Comment section below if you want your topic in the show. And we'll see you guys later.
Could you imagine Nolan North, Matt Mercer, and Troy Baker in the same game? It would be just like
That'd be some-
a black hole
yeah,
would just
the
emerge
game would
in the
never come out
studio.
at that point.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have enough fun.
They'd be like, wait, who's the protagonist? I'm the protagonist? No, you're the
No,
protagonist.
protagonist.
No, we'll all
I mean,
voice
Nolan North and
everybody.
Troy
No,
Baker
they
have been in the
voice
same
every
game.
single one of them voices a different line.
Yeah, every other line.
Well, Troy and Matt can switch off.
Oh yeah, they would sound alike, but
No, Matt Mercer could just create the whole.
It's high noon.